Have you ever just looked up at a skyscraper and wondered, how? How does something that massive even get built? It's not just about steel and glass. It's about an invisible system of control, a hidden blueprint that stops the whole thing from turning into total chaos. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that blueprint. You might be surprised to find out it all boils down to one single document.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You've got hundreds of workers, tons of different suppliers all vying for a contract, and a budget with, well, a whole lot of zeros. It's basically a recipe for disaster, right? A single wrong order, just one, could bring the entire project to a screeching halt for weeks, maybe even months, and that costs millions. So how on earth do you manage all that?
Well, the answer isn't some fancy supercomputer or some lone genius architect calling all the shots. The tool that actually tames all that chaos is a form. Yep, a piece of paper. A simple, humble document that is, believe it or not, the true foundation of every single skyscraper you see.
So, let's meet this unsung hero, this essential gatekeeper. It's called a purchase requisition, and it's the one thing that controls every dollar, every bolt, and every single nail that comes onto a construction site.
So what is it exactly? A purchase requisition, or a PR for short, is a strictly internal document. This is really important. It is not a contract. Think of it as the formal conversation that happens before any real commitment is made. It's the absolute first step for any spending on a project.
The easiest way to wrap your head around it is this. It's like a super detailed shopping list. I mean, down to the last nut and bolt. But it's also a permission slip that has to get signed off by a whole chain of people and departments before a single penny can actually be spent.
And this whole process really boils down to three core jobs. First, it's a firewall. It stops unauthorized spending cold. If you don't have a PR, you don't get to buy anything. Simple as that. Second, it's a budget hawk. It makes sure every single request lines up with the master financial plan. And third, it creates an evidence trail. Every decision, every approval is documented, which means there's a crystal clear line of accountability.
Okay, so what gives this little form so much power? Well, the secret is all in the details. Let's break down the anatomy of a perfect purchase request to see why every single little box on that form is actually a critical checkpoint.
Now, this isn't just mindless paperwork. You got to see it as a series of tripwires designed to prevent failure. Look at that why it's critical column. The project code that links every single dollar to a specific line in the budget. The detailed specs that stop someone from accidentally ordering the wrong grade of steel, a mistake that could be, catastrophic. Attaching quotes justifies the cost, and technical drawings, they confirm the part will actually fit. Even the delivery date is non-negotiable, because one late shipment can cause a domino effect of delays across the entire project.
So now that we know what's in a PR, let's follow its journey. We'll see how it goes from a simple idea on a construction site all the way to becoming a legally binding contract with an outside company.
Okay, so it all starts on the ground. A site supervisor realizes, hey, we're running low on concrete. That's step one. They fill out that super detailed PR form we just dissected. That's step two. Then that form makes its way up the chain to the project manager and the finance team. They give it a reality check against the budget and the overall plan. That's step three. Once it's approved, the purchasing team might send out a request for quotation or RFQ to find the best vendor at the best price. That's step four. And only then, after it has cleared all those internal hurdles, does it finally transform into a purchase order, or a PO, the official, formal contract to buy.
And here is the absolute key difference, the thing you have to remember. The purchase order is the legally binding promise to pay a supplier. The purchase requisition, that's the crucial internal debate that happens before you ever make that promise. It's the, hang on, are we absolutely sure about this moment? And it's built right into the system. But this whole process does way more than just control money. If that internal debate fails, the consequences aren't just financial. A sloppy PR process can open the door to all sorts of hidden dangers, dangers that could compromise the safety of the entire building. That's because the scariest threats are often the ones you just can't see. Hidden inside the steel, the paint, the concrete itself, there can be contaminants that can silently, systematically sabotage the entire project from the inside out.
First up, you've got hazardous materials. We're talking about things like asbestos or lead-based paint. A cheap, unvetted supplier could easily and accidentally introduce these kinds of toxins into a brand new building, creating a long-term health nightmare for anyone who works or lives there.
And then there are environmental pollutants. Certain paints and adhesives can release harmful things called volatile organic compounds, or VOCs, into the air. Or contaminated soil used as backfill could end up poisoning the very ground the building stands on for decades to come.
Next on the list are material impurities. For instance, if the concrete has too much chloride in it, it can actually corrode the steel rebar from the inside out. It's like a cancer, silently eating away at the building's skeleton.
And finally, moisture and mold. If materials like drywall or insulation are sourced improperly or stored the wrong way, they can arrive on site already compromised, and that can lead to rot, decay, and serious health problems down the line.
So with all these invisible threats lurking in the shadows, how does a simple document fight back? How can a piece of paperwork possibly prevent a major structural failure?
Well, the genius is that the solution is built right into the process itself. By forcing the person making the request to be incredibly specific, demanding the exact material grade, the right safety certifications, the approved supplier, the PR basically embeds a quality and safety check at the very, very beginning. It makes it almost impossible to even ask for the wrong thing without setting off a whole bunch of red flags.
And the difference is it's night and day. Without a formal PR process, you've got chaos, wrong materials showing up, budgets getting blown, and hidden dangers slipping right through the cracks. But with a disciplined PR process, every one of those risks is managed, every dollar is tracked, and every single material is verified.
So, here's the bottom line. That tiny, maybe kinda boring-looking line item for material specifications on a form, that's not just paperwork. It is a direct line to the safety and the structural integrity of the final building. The unseen blueprint for safety is written right there.
It's a pretty powerful idea when you think about it. A simple, structured, internal conversation that prevents chaos and guarantees quality. This process protects our buildings, and it protects everyone inside them. Which kind of leaves you with a final question. What other unseen systems, what other hidden blueprints are quietly holding your world together?